After 68 years from Gojo and Sukuna's death, 99% of cursed spirits now only manifest in this city.
No.
That is why, throughout all of these 12 chapters, we barely get to see any cursed spirits. Just imagine how crazy it is that every cursed spirit you ever see in Jujutsu Kaisen, pretty much all of them, are condensed into a single city, making the old capital of Japan a place where ordinary humans can never venture into, the realm of the cursed spirits, Tokyo, the inhuman Markyo.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
We quickly learn more about this as the Okutsu siblings take Maru on a tour alongside Kyoto's protective barriers. Yuka explains after the culling games, when the world learned about cursed spirits, the government lied, saying that they only appear in Tokyo. And by limiting the leakage of cursed energy to Tokyo, where the public have no access to, made this lie into a truth. People were actually scared of Tokyo. Considering what happened in Shinjuku, it only makes sense. But this resulted in even more curses spawning in the old capital. However, barriers were constructed around Kyoto and other regions, since it's not impossible for cursed spirits to form outside of Tokyo. This in turn pushes the curses away from those regions into the controlled zone. And that's when Tsurugi talks about the Great Purification Ritual, an actual culling of cursed spirits. To ensure they don't spill out of Tokyo, sorcerers are sent once in a while to exterminate them. Sounds simple, right? I mean, they even make a game out of it. However, in the eyes of the Cimmerians, this goes against their religion, as they see cursed spirits in the same light as the Kallions, and that's what this old Cimmerian had witnessed. He stumbled upon Tokyo whilst the Great Purification was taking place. Now, we know Yuji freaking Itadori is not here in Tokyo, because if he was, then Tokyo would have been completely empty. Instead, we get this insane panel, which feels like it's straight out of the Dark Continent from Togashi's Hunter x Hunter. Yuji is currently MIA and was last seen in the middle of a crowd filled with humans. So it could be that this area likely does not consist of many special grades, especially those who evolved to speak and think very intelligently, as we could assume they would just leave the area with no problems, which means the few moments Yuji isn't aura farming, it's possible that he has taken it upon himself to find the greater threats. But we can be sure that when Yuji does arrive, the whole dynamic between the Cimmerians and humans will completely shift, especially if Yuji is indeed a half curse. The connection between the cursed spirits and Kallions might be due to the composition of their cursed energy, and Yuji fits the bill. Besides eating his brothers, he was crafted in a unique way. Who's to know what else Kenjaku had done whilst he was in his belly? So it's not far-fetched to think that Yuji might become an avatar, bridging the two races together. Stick around till the end where I'll explain this even further, going into why the Cimmerians might hold Yuji as a deity. However, even though my boy Yuji isn't in this cesspool, these guys are. Remember this one super intolerant guy who I did say might be related to Mei? Yeah, the one with the shape up who was seated with the other higher ups. Well, get ready to hate this guy even more. Whilst exorcising the cursed spirits in Tokyo, they proceed to start cleansing indoors. However, something or someone was pulling all the cursed spirits to a single room, and that is none other than Oski.
Who?
Come on, guys. The Cimmerian who wanted conflict and voted to overtake Japan by force. After hearing what happened from Elder Boro, he made his way there to confirm the existence of their gods on Earth. And so, this geezer is literally treating the cursed spirits like a freaking pet. Now, it does look kind of dodgy, I can't lie. It's a bit sus. But regardless of what's happening between these two, they are rudely interrupted by the sorcerers. This is where the situation starts getting even worse. Osami immediately sends words to the sorcerers in Tokyo to stop the purification ritual. Both Jabaloma and Cross also realizes how bad the situation can get, and so they decide to tag along. Cross even offers to use their mothership to reach there as soon as possible. At the same time, back in Kyoto, the siblings explain cursed objects to Maru. Like Sukuna's fingers, they are used to repel the cursed spirits, but over time, the nature of these objects change, where they will start attracting them instead. instead. So a Jujutsu sorcerer's job is not only to deal with the rogue curse users and protect others from cursed spirits, but also to make sure these protective charms are still working well enough for cursed spirits to be repelled. Tsurugi then tries to relate their job back with the Sumerians, but Maru says the role of their warriors are different. Their warrior path is chosen from birth by the Kalyans of their villages, who are 1,000-year-old creatures that decides what path a Lumerian will lead in life at the time of their birth. That's one of the reasons they are considered gods amongst them, to a point that the Lumerians' middle names are also given by the Kalyans. Now this further showcases that some of the Kalyans are evolved like Jogo and Hanami. If their existence stems from highly concentrated curse energy, then it's possible that this is the end goal of what Jogo would have desired. Like, let's be honest here, he just wanted to live in a world where they could live freely and not hunted down all the time. However, whilst the trio are just chilling and exchanging cultural ideals with one another, the situation in Tokyo becomes even dire. Usami, Jabaloma, and Cross arrive at the old capital, but it's too late. The worst has happened. The buzz haircut guy, Yakomaru, one-shots the cursed spirit who was sucking off Oski, and so he gets attacked by him, forcing them to retreat outside the building. The war is beginning. But before things can escalate any further, Usami contacts every sorcerer to assemble at once. He even had to use his cursed speech to stop them at their position. Usami explains that the Great Purification has officially been called off because the Sumerians were never properly briefed about cursed spirits and were only given limited intel about Jujutsu sorcery, meaning the main blame for this whole situation kind of falls on them. To make matters worse, Usami confirms that the cursed spirits resemble the Kalyans, which is exactly why the Sumerians are freaking out and accusing humanity of killing their gods. However, whilst Usami is trying to calm down the sorcerers, Cross does the same to his own people. He explains that the Kalyans and the cursed spirits are not the same thing. Even though Oski points to his eyes saying it's tearing up, Cross responds back that if they were truly Kalyans, he would barely be standing on his feet. Rather, he should have dropped into an aneurysm. On top of that, cursed spirits do not have a physical body like the Kalyans, so after they are exorcised, they simply disappear. Cross even starts begging Oski to use the little brain cells he has and to hold it together. With the situation kinda calmed down, both parties' representatives apologizes to each other, hoping to reaffirm their peaceful negotiations. And so, whilst things are seemingly calming down in Tokyo, the trio wind up their mission of checking every barrier down at Kyoto. Here, we get a warm yet eerie feeling. You know, the one you get before everything turns to shit? Yep, Yuka tells Maru that Jujutsu sorcerers are always short-staffed, so the Sumerians warriors can help out with checking the barriers along with the Great Purification. They can be such a big help to them and they will all get along. It will be such a great party, unknown to the current situation going on in Tokyo. They even say the goodbyes, promising to meet the next day. However, we all know Gege, right? This might be the last time they meet as friends. Either way, humanity still has a chance, and I'm sure Yuji freaking Itadori is going to be an answer for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and if you want more peak content, make sure to watch this video next.